Philippines, you have several modes of transportation. We've been on the tricycles, the cabs, the garbage trucks. The ones we prefer the most are the jeepneys. Preferably the more pimped out ones. We came to the Philippines, and one thing we noticed straight away was this strange way of transportation here. And we met up with our friend Torm here, who's kind of an expert in the area, and he's writing a book about them right now. So we're gonna have him tell us a bit about it.
Jeepney is our own version of American hot rod. It's one big macho machine. Yeah. I think in Metro Manila it numbers to around 200,000 if I'm not mistaken. And
they're everywhere though.
They're everywhere.
I'll tell you, they're just everywhere.
The roots of the jeepney is actually from the World War II vehicles left behind by the American GIs after the liberation of Manila. And there were thousands of these jeepneys that were left here. When they were left here, you know, they were meant to be used for a very short period of time. But what happened was that there was a certain crisis in transportation, you know, moving people and moving equipment. So what they did was that they cannibalized these GI Jeeps and extended them a little, put sturdier canopies, and thus the jeepney was born. The 1960s, the flamboyance in the design started to come out. You'd have designs that were so colorful. It's a folk art that's a little rebellious. It's breaking away from conventions. You'd have this very classical car, and you chop it up and come up with, you know, this really, for me, a very interesting piece of personalized machinery. So if you say it's a jeepney, it should have that grille. It should have the two lights here. It should have this fender where you have the wheels. You'd have the front part, which is heavily ornamented. You'd have the lights and everything. And usually they have this sun visor, modified sun visor. And that's the initial markings. That's the identity of the jeepney. And all the decorations you find in the jeepneys are all cannibalized ornamentations from 1950s, 1960s car. The famous ones are the horses from Mustangs. Yeah. The horses. You cannot separate the horses from the jeep. It's a homage to the carriage, the kalesa. We call it the kalesa. So whenever you see a jeepney, it's a glorified kalesa, a horseless carriage, so to speak.